All right, guys, today's video I'm sure you're going to be interested in. This is going to be on getting n8n installed onto the Unraid server. And this is going to be locally, right? No, domain. And by domain, I'm talking like, having to actually own a domain and then, do some subdomain routing necessary for the most part. Okay, there is going to be a few things you are going to need to get working in order for this to work the proper secure way. Again, right, this is going to be local. This is going to be with HTTPS, so you're not going to need to disable the secure cookie thing. So let's get started. All right, so first and foremost, you go to the Unraid App Store, search n8n, right, and then we're going to use this one by this TM Childs repository. Let me go ahead and hit install. All right, now let's actually talk about a few things here. Now, you guys already know, right? A lot of times I'm usually swapping out images if it's like somebody that like customly built it. I can see here in the repository, right? This is from the actual n8n, like the official guys, right? So I'm not going to touch that. What I am going to do, right, is walk through a few things that you are going to need to change. And luckily for me, right, I already have an image already put together, so we won't have to really wait for that. And that is going to be right. It's coming. Let's go right here. All right. So there's going to be a few things you are going to need to do. Okay. So first and foremost, right, and look, right, you can use IP addresses, right? I like host names, and the reason being is just because it makes it easier for me. And I want to say, because this is going to involve some TLS certificate stuff, you could try and experiment to see if you can get away with IP addresses, but I use the host name thing. But here we go, right? So let's talk about it. You're not going to need, ignore these three things, all right? That's just me experimenting because I'm trying to figure out how to get the goddamn runners to go. But like I said, that'll come later. This is the part we actually need here, okay? It's going to be these specific things here, okay? And this is going to be good because this will set you up for when you are ready to like have this hosted on the actual internet. In case you're doing like some really fancy stuff or whatever, you're going to need these variables, right? I needed to put in these variables in order for me to get it to work locally. And these are the same things you would use to get it to work, if it's on the internet, right? So, as a reminder, right, you go here, you click on the config type and it's variable, right? Because all of these are variables. So if I click on this, right, so the first one's going to be, and it's going to be in the description, okay? You got to have your n8n a host, right, which is going to be whatever you want to call it, right? So this is going to be important. So you are going to need to, you're going to give it a name and you're going to need your router. So this is going to require you to do some port forwarding on your router, or, if you know how to mess with, I think it's like the host, the host file on like your Windows computer, right? If you know how to do that, you can do that too. Okay. I just, I just use my router. I like it that way all my devices all can, hit the same thing. But, you're going to change it to whatever you're going to want to call your little n8n container, right? And then the website, you want to make sure you put HTTPS /n8, again, the name, right? And then of course that variable is webhook URL. All right. The web editor, same thing, right? HTTPS, whatever you're calling it. And then the key, the variable name is going to be this, the n8n editor base URL. And then lastly, right, the web protocol, okay? Web protocol, n8n underscore protocol is the variable name. HTTPS is what we're using, right? Make sure this is lowercase. I hate it when I had a capital H. All right. I want to say, and I want to say that is it. Okay. So we're already about 1.5 quarters through already out the gate. Okay. So let me go ahead and do this, right? Command finish successfully, and it should fail, right? Let's look and see what happens, right? Because there's still going to be a few things we're going to do. Yeah, see, it immediately like crashed and failed. Let's see what it complained about, right? So it complained about not being able to access this, okay? No encryption key found. It was trying to generate this stuff, right? So, okay. let us see what's going on. So let me refresh this. And if you look, I don't know, you might not have this experience. I don't know why my system's doing this. I don't recall having this issue before when I initially set this up. But for whatever reason, when it creates the directory, I see the owner as nobody. All right. Now, for those of you that might have checked my other videos, you know what I like to do, right? If you set your stuff to root and make it readable and writable to everybody, including like the public, you're just doing that just so you can see, when it creates the files, what the actual proper ownerships and permissions are supposed to be, give or take, right? And then you can, then you can change it. So that's what we're going to do, right? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the owner to root. Okay, cool. And then I am going to change, and that's if you even have this issue. Your thing might have just actually gone through without a problem. So, and then I'm gonna change this whole thing to read and write for everybody. Right? Boom, right? All done, right? And again, right, I know it was a permissions because if I go inside this folder that it created, it's empty. So it couldn't even write into it. Again, I don't know why it has that issue. But if that's what you're experiencing, that's what you need to do. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and hit done. And I'm going to turn it back on and let's see if it works. So now let's go ahead and jump into the logs, see what it's doing. And boom, right? See, there you go. So now it's going up, and then soon it should say that it is running on, whatever, right? Don't try this yet. This part isn't going to work. I'm going to show you something else too that I know you guys are experiencing. And like I said, you're going to have to wait for the next video where I figure out how to get the runner thing working. Cause they got some nice documentation, but translating anything to Unraid is always a pain. So, I'm sure that a lot of you guys experience this where it tells you that, hey, we need HTTPS. And, if you really, want to use HTTP, you could just disable the secure cookies. And my understanding is, this is frowned upon. Fine. All right. Now, here is where we're going to hit the meat and potatoes, everything. Okay. Now, you are going to need some type of like proxy or something that does generate the certificates. Okay. I'm sure you saw probably earlier. I haven't quite gotten it to work yet where I tried to generate my own certs. Where is it? Right here, right? I tried to generate my own search. I haven't quite got that to work yet. When I do, if I ever have some time to like actually experiment with it, and if there's enough demand, I'll try to see how to do it, because it's just one less thing for you to have running installed. Because in this particular video, we use Caddy, right? You might be able to, you can use the other ones like Apache NGX, right? If you know how to use those, right? But we use Caddy because it's like super easy to kind of get that done. But you have to have a TLS certificate. You can't not do it. It's just impossible. All right. They don't allow it unless you want to turn this off, which like I said, I hear that a lot of people don't want to do it. So what do? All right. So on your Caddy, right? Again, we're using Caddy. And like I said, if you happen to have a QNAP server, I have a video on installing Caddy and how to get it to work. I don't know why this got so massive, but, okay. But if I go into my Caddy, okay, this is what you're going to need, okay? You are going to need, I don't know, I forgot to remove that part. Let me get that out the way. All right. You're going to need an entry for whatever it is you're going to call it, okay? And then a particular port number you're going to use to dedicate for, obviously for the container. And here is the most important piece. Okay. Let me just temporarily move all this other stuff out the way so you guys don't get confused. All right. Cause that was just me working really hard to figure out why in God's earth this stuff never works and is never easy. Okay. So you need this, right? TLS internal. All right. This is going to be super important. What this does is this makes Caddy be the one to create your certs internally. So now Caddy naturally does, the requests up to wherever for like your public domains. So like, as you can see here, right, I had, if I was setting this up for the use on the internet, right, I wouldn't need that line, right? I just need to make sure that things are just accessible and it's going to generate, and it'll do the cert creations automatically, right? For, what is it? Let's Encrypt or whatever. Internally, you're going to need to use TLS internal, and this makes Caddy make the search itself. And the thing is, you're always going to get the little error that says that, the certificate isn't trusted, and that's just because it's Caddy that created it. And so you need to actually then trust Caddy search. I'm not going over that because it's not needed in order to get n8n working, but just so you know, right? This is just all you're going to need right here, right? Get the TLS internal going, your reverse proxy to your Unraid server, and then the port that it's listening to, all right, which, the default is 5678. I had to add this to just like handle some kinks. You can try it without it first to see if it works, and if it doesn't, just add this and see if that gets you through, and then that's it, right? Now, one quick quirk with Caddy is that even when like you save this, sometimes sometimes it doesn't work. So for my QNAP people specifically, you can just simply stop it, confirm that it is down by running netstat the flags, right? Tulip, I'll just say tulip, to see if it stopped listening to the port, and then of course start it and then run that stat again to see if it's then listening to the ports, which in this case it is. Okay, but that's it, right? So now let's talk about the router. Okay, now you guys, if you've been following my channel, I use OpenWart. Okay, this is going to be actually pretty easy. You just go to, what is it, right? Sorry, my theme's slightly different, but you're gonna go to network, right? Go to your network, DHCP and DNS section here. Go to DNS records. This is where you're going to be establishing like, your custom like host names and then the IP address you want those to map to. Okay, so in this case here, right, I have this, like I said, again, whatever it is you're going to call it as the host name. Let me just do this, right? Whatever you're going to call it, the host name, and then the IP address for wherever Caddy is actually at and listening to. Okay, which in this case, is my QNAP server. And then we know, right, based off of what we established here, that I have Caddy listening for these two port numbers. Okay, you don't need both. You can only use you can use only one if you want to. I'm just testing some stuff, so ignore this. As a matter of fact, let me just go like that, right? And boom, right? So now let's go ahead and let's do it. So we are going to now target this this address. So I'm gonna just hit refresh real quick to make sure that it still doesn't work. Right? Yeah, see, it doesn't work, right? And that's just because I need to now put HTTPS. So let's do it. HTTPS. All right, now let's go here. And boom, there you go. There you go. See, now you didn't have to disable the secure cookie thing. You didn't have to, turn off stuff and make it HTTP, which is unrecommended. We were able to get n8n working on the Unraid server, just using Caddy, right, which is a reverse proxy, and your own routers, like host name stuff, in order to just get the this part going. All right, because this is all required. Again, right, I am working on trying to see if I can just get the your own homemade certs to work on it. I haven't quite gotten that figured out yet, but when I do, I'll make a video. May never come out, maybe, because I might just like get distracted with something else. But at least you've made it this far, and you have n8n now working locally, right? No need for a domain, no need to host anything on the internet that in some shape or fashion costs you money, right? You have this officially running internally at home. Okay, and all it just required, again, because you can't get around it, it requires those certificates. Okay, and so like if you can get Caddy running on your system, like I said, just make sure that you have it. You have your router, just route it to wherever you have Caddy installed running on. Like I said, if you had it on your own system, then have it pointed to your own system. Just make sure you got the port specified. Yeah, and that's that. So with that being said, I hope this was helpful, and you guys take care. I also almost forgot, right, about the permissions thing, right? Because we sat there, we did through all of that, and I was about to kill the video, and then I was like, oh yeah, permissions thing. So in case you don't recall like my other videos, right? I always say that, you know, if you just open it up to everything, right, you can get it working. And then what you just need to do is you go inside, figure out what the permissions actually are, and then you should be fine. Which in this case, right, I see owner. I see myself as the owner. So let's go ahead and at least do that part. So let me go here. We're going to change the owner to me, right? And that should be recursive. And then as far as the permissions go, now here's the thing. So I see that it will not allow me not do this permissive. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and use this thing here. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna jump into my server. This stuff is here because I'm probably going to make it use this one here. So owner read write and then the group. All right, so we'll just use octave 64. Okay, so let's just do that. So that way we can at least we have the folder to where I think it probably should be, like that. And add X to directories. Going to one of that. And we're not going to do the recursive thing. Let's see, users 100. Sure. All right. And boom. Okay. That looks good to me. And like I said, hopefully there shouldn't be no issues or no problem. All we needed to do is just to get the, you know, the folder permission thing to where we need it, where we think we need it, you know. But yeah, now that's actually it for the video. Hope you guys take care.